happens or something that like stays in my brain that can't get out of my brain, I tend to just write down like 5 questions I have about it. Those people of this channel that have been subscribed, thank you. To the swim team, to the swimmers, already know that I do this every once in a while. Recently, 2 days ago, I guess, Drake drops What Did I Miss? Live streams it. I was in the live stream waiting for it to start. I think he's definitely being influenced positively, right, by the new, not new, but new to him, probably the streamer trend. How you see guys like DDG and Kai like controlling the world and kind of like the death of celebrity now. It's like celebrity used to be about mystique and mystery, and now it's like celebrity is about showing everything. And when you show everything, it kind of gets rid of that mystique and mystery, which is kind of equals the death of celebrity. It means anybody can be famous now, or anybody can be notable, right? And I think Drake's blending those two worlds with this live stream that he did, right? He's getting influenced by the streamers. Like, let me stream this live. Production quality and like concept and creativity, I don't know if that was there about the live stream. It's a little strange. It's like tough performing live without edits. You know, you like have to be an exceptional performer, not usually like dancing or singing. Drake just kind of mouthing his own words live looks a little strange. You probably think it looks strange because every time you see Drake, it's in a highly edited music video, right? Like, you can make anyone look like a good performer if you're highly editing effects and things like that. But to put it live and just have him in like an ice room, like, what did I miss? It's a little strange. You know, I definitely applaud the like how bold it is to do that, because live is like anything can happen. I've worked in a lot of live, and it's like you fear something going wrong when you're shooting live. And once it goes wrong, you're just like, okay, on to the next thing. It's like a crazy dynamic. So shout out to Drake and his team for having this live idea. For being one of the biggest artists in the world. It's like nobody else, some people, but like it's hard to find people that have that type of bravery. And you actually saw it go left later if you guys saw the live stream of like him driving in the van in Toronto and someone's like, Drake's a bitch. You know? God damn. The stuff like that just can go left. But just I overall, I applauded the attempt what they were trying to do with like, let's make it live. I think that's creative. That's creative. You know what I mean? It has its place. I want to talk about the song, the things I think about Drake now. I couldn't parcel this out with my friends, so I'm bringing it to you guys. And please comment in below in the chat, whatever, what your opinions are. Tell me my questions are stupid, my takes are stupid, whatever, or they're smart, whatever. Anywhere in the middle. I just like to know how the culture is responding to What Did I Miss. So I'm going to get into like 5 questions that I thought about while watching What Did I Miss and see if you agree or not. The first question when I was watching What Did I Miss is, and some people have spoken on about this, but I don't know the answer, and I'm kind of on the fence. My first question is Drake still self-aware? Think about that for a second. I say still because to me, what made me, and I'm speaking as a big fan of Drake. I you know, like maybe he's not in my Mount Rushmore, but I think he's one of the most important rappers ever, you know, despite how you feel about him. You know, but why I was drawn to Drake, other than like the lyrical ability and the song making quality, is that his content made him seem really approachable and relatable, right? And it seemed like in the early days of Drake, I'm talking first 5 to 7 years of his career post like So Far Gone, it seemed like he was making a living off of his material being about who he was, this like outlier outside of typical rap culture, right? And that's the wake of Kanye, right? We saw a lot of people boom in the wake of Kanye, where it's like, as soon as Kanye started talking about being self-conscious and made that mainstream about being introspective, the wave shifted, you know? The 50 Cent wave kind of died. We didn't want popular culture, right? Don't take any of this and chop it up. I'm just saying popular culture, right? Maybe had a new interest in other gangster rap, and it's like maybe rap can be about the everyman. And Kanye not invented, but he made that popular about insecurities, why he's buying this materialistic bullshit. Then that sprung a wave of like the Kid Cudis, and then you get like the Wale's and Drake's. For rappers, it creates a space now for rappers to talk about the stuff we didn't traditionally talk about in rap music, which is insecurity, problems with women, problems with family, problems with celebrity, you know. Kanye had a big effect on that. And then that ripple effect caused Drake to like really feast in that area. And that to me is what brought me to Drake. I think, I wouldn't assume I stand for everybody, but I would assume that most people got brought to Drake because of that, right? I don't think everyone thought Drake was this like tough exterior gangster rap, drug dealing rapper, we thought he was an approachable rapper and a relatable rapper. And in his early days, a lot of lyrics are talking about situations that you found yourself in, right? That weren't about gangster rap or however you classify it, but it's like even on Lord Knows, produced by Just Blaze, I forgot what album that is, that has the Rick Ross feature at the end, where he's like, I know I don't make music for niggas who don't get pussy. What does he say? No, he says like, I know that showing emotion don't mean that I'm a pussy, and I don't make music for niggas who don't get pussy. So those are the ones I count on to diss me or overlook me. Sorry, I butchered that. But like those lines from Drake, I'm like, oh, he's very self-aware, right? And to me, you guys know me. I've always feel like I'm like, maybe not the president, but I'm in the cabinet of like the Black Nerd Club. Life is a race to be yourself. And I think artists really hit their stride when they realize who they are. I thought Drake realized who he was very early and capitalized off of it. Yeah, I'm not a gangster rapper. Yeah, I make music and I show emotion, but it doesn't mean I'm a pussy. Like, you know, and he had a lot of that shit. And to me, I'm like, Drake is very self-aware. And that's why you feel comfortable listening to him. He's not trying to be something he's not. The number one question I have now, though, when I listen to his music, I'm like, oh, is Drake still self-aware? No shade to the boy, no shade to Obs, no shade to the Sixth God. But I'm like, how self-aware can you be when you become this multimillionaire? You're surrounded by friends. I guess we'll talk about what Drake calls friends and his problems with friends later. But how self-aware can you be when you have that much success, when you have that much acclaim, when you have that much people wanting your attention? You know, I think what is kind of buzzing a lot of the rap fans is like the What Did I Miss video, him in it looks like a Spanish style patio or backyard where all of these like maybe like 50 or 60 like automatic weapons are laid out and Drake's like performing in front of him. I know hood niggas are going to be like, man, that nigga don't push the button, nigga. And I understand. Sure, that's always going to have a place in rap. I want to take it one step deeper and be like, is Drake still self-aware to know how that looks with him doing it? I know this isn't an original take, but I promise I'm not trying to be the guy that's like, nigga, you ain't a tough guy, don't do that. I'm not concerned about that. I'm more concerned about if Drake knows what the optics look like. This comes off the like abs picture, whatever. I won't get into that, but like for someone who I thought and believed was very self-aware in the beginning of his career, I'm on the fence if he's lost the self-awareness or if he just doesn't give a fuck. Now, when I say I'm on the fence, I think I'm like 80% in the department of, I think he's not self-aware. I think he might be surrounded by too many people that are just agreeing to whatever he wants or not really like cross-checking these ideas, right? I could see the energy. And to me, like there's a lot of sellout talk in music and fame or whatever. To me, I don't think you could ever really sell out unless you like do something backhanded to like hurt your own culture. Or unless you do something that like really disagrees with your moral beliefs, which is still gray. But like Drake posing with a bunch of guns doesn't bother me if the artistic vision is like, you know what? I'm down bad. Niggas turn their back on me. It's wartime. Whether that's a metaphor or whatever, I'm cool with that. I'm like, okay, cool. That's storytelling, right? Like music videos should be artistic and they shouldn't be taken that literal to be like Drake's going to shoot every one of those guns. I like the artistic vision of being like, oh, cool. It's wartime for Drake right now. He's down bad. His back's against the wall. And now this is a metaphorical visual of him being like, it's wartime from now on. I understand that. Again, what I just question is, does Drake know how weird that looks? That a mass audience is going to be like, Drake, you're Drake. You know, and I wouldn't call anybody like a pussy or anything like that, but I'm like, you have a different image than that. And I wonder if Drake's been around tough guys for so long, because the more fame you get in rap, you hang around street niggas. And I wonder if that's rubbing off on him, or he's been untouched so long that he feels untouchable. And now it's got like this Don persona, and now maybe he's buying into it. Or maybe I'm big braining this shit. You know, maybe I'm thinking about it too much and Drake's just like, it's wartime, let's put these guns out. Either way, it made me think of that question. I was like, does Drake know how this looks? And actually, I've always kind of been thinking about it in Drake's career when he posts selfies with like lip biting and like duck face or whatever. I'm like, feel how you want to feel. I'm not talking about how it makes me feel when he posts it. It makes me think. I'm like, does Drake know how this looks? Because early on, you mastered your self-imagery. You knew how people looked at you and you profited off of it. And now that same ability seems like it's working against you. That's question one. Sorry, all these questions won't be too long. The second question is, when I was listening to this song, I think it's a good song. It's like 7, 8 out of 10 for me. I'll fuck with it. Sounds a lot like TV Off randomly. Not stylistically, but about production-wise and like escalating horns. I'm just like, oh, it kind of sounds like TV Off randomly. But the second question I have is like when I was listening to it, and I guess I should tell you what kind of fan I am. Big Drake fan, big Kendrick fan. I hate that I have to mention those in the same thing, but it's a reality now. Me as a big fan of both, I probably listened to more Drake than I've listened to Kendrick. I think right now I probably like have Kendrick at, if it's a competitive sport, which rap is, like a little above Drake, just as of right now because of what he's done. He just had like a historic run these last 2 years. Obviously, being a fan of both and being a fan of the beef, it affects the way you listen to both of them post. And I don't know if I want that to be the case. It's just the reality. When I was listening to this, my second question was, oh, Drake's rapping about friends that backstabbed him because of this beef. It's wartime now. It's up for all you niggas that used to fuck with us. You've been dick riding the gang since headlines. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear Drake rap about this. And I don't know if this is 1 or 2 songs on the album or if the whole album's about like, hey, I've been down bad. Now I'm back to come get all my fake friends. But the last 2 projects from Drake, for me personally, my taste, whoever gives a fuck. But one is, oh, I don't want to hear how you're in your 40s still having female trouble. I just don't. Specifically, maybe there's a lot of niggas out there that are like in their early 30s or like have stunted growth that are still having girl problems and they need Drake's music to sort it out for them and to give them captions. That's not where I'm at. Love to you if that's your thing. But I'm like, damn, man, I don't know if I want Drake's like complaining about female relationships still to be a thing because it's signaling like a blockage in his evolution I thought he'd have. For me, that was the first thing. And then the second thing, I'm like, oh, I'm so over the beef. I think the world's so over the beef and you two being compared. Anything topic you're rapping about that's like kind of referencing the beef, it feels like white noise to me right now. You feel me? Like, am I tripping? Like, I don't want to hear Drake talk too much about this beef and how niggas was like down, now they're not down anymore. I'm like, bro, I'm a fan of you because you talked about a lot of shit no other rappers talked about. Now this thing is kind of getting monotonous. So my second question was like, that I don't have an answer to. My second question is, what do we want to hear Drake rap about? Let that sit for a second. As a Drake fan, if you're still a Drake fan, even if you're a hater, but like you appreciate his artistry, what do you actually want to hear Drake rap about? Because me, I don't want to hear about female trouble anymore. I could always hear big money shit. I think that's cool. I think Drake does big money shit as one of the best. I could always hear that for the rest of his career. You know, I listened to Jay-Z do it for like 40 years. So I can listen to that. But I don't want to hear maybe fake friends any longer. I know that's something that probably comes with celebrity and a lot of money, but it feels like Drake's been being backstabbed by his friends for like 10 years. I'm like, my nigga, there's a common denominator at some point, you know? And I'm kind of tired of hearing that. Even with how great of a lyricist he is, like, man, I'm not sure I want to hear him rap about how he's been betrayed by all these people. It kind of seems like, bro, if 30 people have betrayed you, it might be a look in the mirror issue, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And that's a personal thing, but I just don't want to hear it on record anymore. I don't want to hear how many people backstab Drake. It's like it doesn't resonate with me. That's the second question. Third question is, bro, and this gets me a little emotional. How does Drake's career end? Is this it? Are we witnessing it now? Or is this just a little bump in the road and he's going to be like back to his, I mean, some would say he's already crushing it. I was looking at the streams. What Did I Miss did, and it's out of here. You know, it's out of here. I think like it's been out for 9 hours or something, or 19 hours and already at like 600 views just on YouTube. Not talking Spotify streams. So I'm never questioning the numbers. His numbers are always going to be great. I'm just questioning. I'm like, oh, I wonder if now we are witnessing the start of how Drake's career ends. Something we never even think about, especially when people are booming. You know, like I think we're witnessing Jay-Z's career end, right? Like he's going to put out maybe one more album if we're lucky, you know? And at his peak, I didn't realize like 444, this was his career ending. Is this next Iceman, is this going to be the way his career ends? Because to me, music, bro, especially rap music, is a cold bitch, bro. Nobody gets to leave gracefully in rap music. It's like boxing. You always leave with the shakes or something. Because in rap music and music in general, it's always about research. 90% about research. It's like finding the new artist, finding the song you love. And if you're not researching a new artist any longer and they just become commonplace, they just get old and they get ushered out the door slowly. Now, the best ones can stay for the longest time, but eventually everyone just gets ushered out the door. It's like, sorry, we're done researching you. We want something new. We want something brand new. And Drake, I'm wondering if this is that time. For me, who's a casual fan, I didn't listen to Some Sexy Songs for You. Like I listened maybe 2 times all the way through. I was like, okay, cool. It's not my vibe, but it's weird because I've listened to every Drake album pretty like religiously. And I wonder the combination of this and if Iceman has a lot of content that I don't really fuck with. I'm wondering if like, I'm not all of his fans, but I represent probably a good demographic that might just be like, oh, maybe I'm off of Drake. And I'm wondering if this album commercially, it's going to do well. It's going to like, you're going to hear all the Spotify and Apple Music numbers like a week after being like, it's the #1 stream and Drake retains the #1 artist ever. You're going to hear all that shit no matter what, because Drake has that kind of cachet. But I'm just talking from the artist perspective and career perspective. How much does Drake have left? Like maybe this beef, if it happened 5 years ago, he'd have a lot left to say, but he's rapped a lot of shit, man. Y'all got to remember, Drake's giving you a lot of fucking content. And for this beef to happen now, where maybe his life and what he's rapping about isn't that expansive, I'm like, I wonder if this is how he starts to decline and the public interest starts to wane and equaling an end in his career. Question 4. Is it me, or has Drake's quality of lyrics gone down? And you hip hop niggas that like have your LRG and backpack, please relax. I know you're gonna be like, no, he has ghostwriters, my nigga. That's why. Okay, all right. Sure, that's not what I'm talking about. To me, Drake's hits have always had great melody, great concept, are very memeable or like gifable. Like, what did I miss? Like people will be saying that, like he has that aspect to it. But Drake, in terms of lyric and ability, he's never sacrificed lyricism while making that big hit song or making a big return rap record. And what did I miss? Although I like it, the lyrics to me are just kind of like, usually he does really good in terms of wordplay, metaphor, and the pockets he chooses. And I like this song, but I'm like, oh, are the lyrics good in this song? It seems like a little bit of a venting session of all the people that have betrayed him. So maybe he wasn't even trying to focus on that, but like on some TSC shit on the dead guys, because you're going to need a chili ice patch for your left eye. I'm like, okay. Keep in mind, I'm just asking these questions. I'm like, is my ear growing numb? Am I like to have too much high of a standard for Drake? Or is the lyric quality not what it was before? Because Drake always was the best of both worlds. He still could rap very well while giving you that big record. I don't think this is going to be a huge record, but it's a big record to return on. But the lyric quality to me, I was like, okay, this just kind of sounds like C- ability in terms of Drake. Last question, which I'm a little worried and maybe excited for the future. But as I was thinking about like maybe if this is how Drake's career ends and public interest wanes, my last question is Drake the last rap superstar we'll ever see? Think about it. Give it a minute. I know we want to like, it's tough to be hyperbolic, like it's speaking hyperbole, being like, that's the last rap superstar. But, and probably some people will say Kendrick was after Drake. But I'm talking about that like 4-quadrant fans that like the 6-year-old white mom is listening to in her van. The way rap music has declined in terms of popular interest, the way, I hate to get into it, but like everything's gotten like politicized and Black culture is even more scrutinized now than the last 10 years. And the way we have the emergence of white superstars in normally predominantly dominated Black culture, whether that's like basketball, music, or whatever. The tide is shifting. And then the biggest one, which I don't even mention, is like streamers, right? They're the new stars. The streamers are the new rap stars, right? And things are cyclical. And maybe things, and I have a tough time admittedly determining whether something's a trend or what's going to stay. But the streamers don't look like they're going anywhere. They look like they're going to run the world. And now streamers are rappers too, but definitely in that order. And I look at where celebrity used to be so focused, right? About 30, 20 years ago, where like if someone was on TV, they're a celebrity. Now we don't even give a fuck who's on TV, right? Like you made it to cable, no one cares, dog. Like there's new forms of celebrity all day, you know? And I wonder, now that interest has waned and no one's watching music videos or listening to music anymore because they're listening to podcasts or they're on TikTok, and so general interest of the younger generation is spread out more. That means the superstars in music, basketball, whatever, of those things that when we grew up on, the superstars are going to have less acclaim. And I wonder if anything will match Drake's rise to like superstardom ever again in terms of rap. I just don't see it. You know, keep in mind, Drake's been around for like 20 years, it feels like. And who are the biggest stars since Drake? Maybe Kendrick. But again, I'm not talking about like just the things that just stay in rap. I shouldn't limit Kendrick because I'm a big fan. I mean, the nigga performed at the Super Bowl. You know, he's not just staying in rap. But I think like more people, your white mom in the suburbs know more Drake than she knows Kendrick, right? That's like one attributed to the style of music he makes and how big his superstardom is. You know, he's got like a Taylor Swift thing about him. And I'm looking at the music landscape and I'm looking at all the XXL like freshmen, the ciphers coming up. And I'm not an old nigga that's like, man, we don't have a superstar anymore. I just think interest is in different places. And Drake, honestly, might be the last rap superstar ever have. Interest is in other places. You know, when I was growing up, boxing was the biggest thing in the world, right? And I didn't realize like Mike Tyson would be the last interesting heavyweight we'd ever have. No one could have predicted, because in 10 years, all the people that should be boxers, they actually went to join the NFL. They're actually like pass protecting for Patrick Mahomes right now. You know, because interest went to football, right? It's like the interest waned, and now who's the last boxer you fell in love with? A superstar. The biggest star in boxing right now, I mean, do you know? They're a YouTuber. You know, so like, who's battle rap's next superstar? Not battle rap, I'm sorry. Who's rap's next superstar? I just don't think it'll happen. You know, I don't think they'll be doing like the Daylyt Show or the Tonight Show any longer, or your mom will know about the last. I mean, ask your parents who's the biggest rap star now. They'll just be like, I think Kendrick. You know, they just don't know. Anyways, that's 5 questions with me. Again, please comment down below if I'm crazy, if I missed the mark, if I'm asking the wrong questions. What Drake's What Did I Miss makes you think about when you see it. Again, I'm here for everything, but I think it's a lazy take to be like, Drake's this and now Kendrick's that. I'll still read your comment and I'll still make sure I get your input, but not everything has to be one because of the other. I'm just trying to look at this as like a solo thing and where Drake's artistry goes. So I want you to hear your comments about that, but tell me what you're thinking. Again, thank you to everybody for tuning into the Last Second See YouTube page. Please subscribe. We're only, I think like today we'll hit 40,000 subs. So we'll probably be on the road to 50,000 after the weekend. Thank you for everybody who subscribed to our YouTube memberships and Patreon memberships. $5 a month, you guys know, gets you faceoff flashbacks with Geechi and Jazz every Friday. Then $10 a month gets you 3 drops. You get their podcast, you get another show, then you get a faceoff flashback too. So support if you can. Take care of yourself on this 4th of July weekend. If you're not home, get home safe, and we will see you soon. Thanks for tuning in.